Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Pope.
Good morning, Earthlings. Good. How you doing today? Good. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Welcome to First Contact Radio. To talk about all these things I'm talking about is because in life, everything is energy. Every single thing that's out there.
Yo, it's First Contact with Joshua Pope. He's the man on the mic, just in case you didn't know it. Covering news from all around the globe, from the weather and space to UFOs. We'll talk politics and make you open your eyes. Conspiracy theories and government lies. We'll dig it all up and try to find the proof. Cause it's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have arrived. First Contact Radio. We have arrived. First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand
First Contact Radio. We have arrived. First Contact Radio.
Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing? Happy New Year. Welcome to 2015. Yes, we have made it. How about that? Hope you had a good time last night. And are you ready to move into the new year? Well, it's here, so we're doing it. Let's start off looking at what's going on with the cosmic weather out there. Starting off looking at the astrology for today, where we're starting off this year. Okay, we have a transition taking place. That's the first thing we see here with the moon sign. That transition takes place at 11 o'clock in the morning. A couple hours from right now. We are currently in this void of course phase, which is the phase where the moon goes through its cycles, and when the moon gets to the end of a cycle, so for this example, Taurus, it's been in Taurus and it's gone through all of Taurus. Taurus has told the story of what Taurus is about as the moon's traveling through there. The story ends, but we haven't quite entered the next phase yet. And so we're still kind of in that phase where we're just getting ready to go into the next moon sign, which is Gemini, but we're not quite there. So we've got a little bit of a time to assess what it is that we've learned from Taurus. So this is called the void of course moon phase. It happens all the time, you know, when there's transitions that go on. Sometimes they're faster, sometimes not so much. Sometimes there's not even a space in between. It just goes from one sign right to the next. So we have this time. It's kind of like a little downtime, time to assess what's going on. Sometimes people feel that they're just, places where people are just sort of not really feeling anything because you're just sort of in that void, in that waiting space. So that's kind of where we're at right now, but it's a short period of time. So what we've got going on is we have an earth sign, which is Capricorn. Capricorn is the tarot card of the devil, which reminds us to look through illusions, not to get caught up in feeling that there's some character out there to get you, because that's not what it's about. It's about understanding to look past the illusions of life, to understand that if we get caught up in the physical world and all the trappings of the physical world, then we are not really seeing clearly what's going on in the whole big picture. We want to enjoy the physical world. That's why we're down here. We want to learn the lessons of the physical world. That's part of the process. But we also want to remember that even though we are in the world, we are not of the world. That there is something much deeper, something much bigger than what this is all about. So let's take a look at some of the aspects that are going on today. Right after midnight, the first aspect that we had was a trine between Mercury and the moon. So our communication, and we were in that point still in the sign of Taurus, so we were dealing with how we're going to communicate into this world. Just after midnight, people are thinking about what they're going to do, their new year, what kind of changes they're going to make. Fits right into the mix. And then about an hour ago or 2 hours ago, Venus jumped into the mix, because now we want to be able to see how we're going to bring all of that together, use our imaginations, because we have all of these great ideas. And we've got this void of course moon going on. So we're making a transition from a subconscious mind that was an earth sign into a subconscious mind that's an air sign. So we've got a little bit of time as this transition's going on to really consider what's going on. We don't have to jump in right away. We can step back, see what it is that we're wanting to do, think about things a little bit, which is good. And then 11:09 a.m., this is Pacific time, the moon goes into Gemini. Gemini is communications. Gemini is the tarot card of the lovers, which is about learning how to use our discernment to discern between one thing or another. It's about relationships. Gemini deals with the Archangel Raphael, which is the angel of healing. So there's a lot of good things coming in with Gemini. Still, of course, feeling the effects of Mercury and Venus as they were playing themselves out. So we were thinking how we're going to communicate. We want to use our imagination. And then right here we get into that sign of communication, into Gemini. Then as the day goes on, shortly after noon, closer to 1 o'clock, Mercury or Gemini is going to be in opposition with Saturn. Saturn is all about discipline. So we're going to find a way. How are we going to discipline? Think of two ends of the teeter-totter. On one end, we're going to have that Gemini, those twins that are sitting on that one side. And the other side, you got Saturn, the taskmaster. Wants to make sure we're not going to jump off that teeter-totter, not throw it out of balance. And so we need to find a way. How are we going to move forward? Because now we've got all of these thoughts and ideas, and we start to get a little bit serious about how we're going to put them into perspective. And then time keeps moving on today, and Mars is going to be in opposition with Jupiter. And here we have Mars on one side of the teeter-totter, Jupiter on the other. Everything's going to expand. Our field of possibilities and opportunity expands. What are we going to do? How are we going to operate within this field? A lot of opportunity, a lot of possibilities here. And we go through the course of the day feeling all of this. And when we get to the evening, 9:07 p.m., we've got a lesson we're going to have to learn. And this is with Gemini, again, and Neptune. New perspectives. Tarot card is the Hanged Man, taking a new perspective on things. How we're going to see the world in a different way, maybe than how we've seen it before. So there's lots of change, lots of ways to really look at things here. You know, we start off the beginning of the year and everybody has high hopes. We've let go of the last year, 2014, and we're hopeful for this change that has come in, that is going to bring us a new opportunity. And so that's what's going on. We've got our mind is thinking how we're going to do this. What kind of changes are we going to make? We want to use our imagination, but then we have moments where we get serious of, okay, now it's going to take some work. So sometimes we get scared by that. But we have to not get scared. We have to look at the opportunities that are available. So what I see when I look at all of this is a day of opportunity. Opportunity to really see where we want to go, what we want to do. And then, of course, when it gets to the evening, take all of that opportunity and say we want to look at things from a different perspective. Because maybe the way we've been doing things in the past might not be the best way to go about them now. Maybe we need to make a change. So we flip things upside down. We get a new perspective so we can start to see things a little differently. Maybe we will do the things the same way. Maybe we won't. But either way, by looking at things from another perspective, we get to see some of the true opportunities that are available within. Okay? So, moving right along, Jewish calendar, today is 10 Tevet. 10 Tevet is the name there. It says the fast of Tevet is also what it's called here. It says 10 Tevet is observed as a day of fasting, mourning, and repentance in remembrance of the siege of Jerusalem. And our daily thought for today is, with toil and persistence, asceticism, great sacrifice, a human being can enlighten his mind. He can reach so high as to perceive the world of the angels or be granted the gift of prophecy. But as hard as any of us may try, as long as our brains are made of gray matter, we can never attain the enlightenment of the least of those fiery things. What amazes the angels, however, is the uncanny ability of a human being to stick his head in the clouds and yet keep both feet on the ground, to traverse worlds. Alright, then the moon phase is a waxing moon, 80%, 88% of the way full. We can see that we're almost at that full moon. Space weather, our solar wind is 43.6 kilometers per second. Planetary K index is between a 1 and a 3. This corona hole at the bottom of the sun here seems to have even gotten larger. The one facing us pretty much smoothed over, as well as the one on top. M-class flare possibilities at 25%, X-class at 1. Geomagnetic storm activity like yesterday's at 35% in the mid-latitudes, 30 and 45% in the high latitudes. And looking up into the sky tonight, it says the waxing gibbous moon shines in or near the Hyades. This evening, late tonight, the moon's invisible deck limb will cover Delta and or Delta Tauri. So you can kind of get an idea, looking at the last map here, where things have progressed. We've moved over, more to the left here. We're in this. We can see the signs of Taurus and Gemini as we're passing through them from the moon signs. Okay. So that's what's going on today energetically around us. A lot of opportunity, a lot of possibility, a lot of change, considering what happened in the past as we move forward. Numerologically, 2015 is an 8 year, 2015. Add them all together, it's an 8. 8 is a number of reciprocal energy. It's a number of infinity. It's a number of abundance. A lot of good qualities to the number 8. That's what we're going to be dealing with all year long. The number 8 on top of everything else that we're looking at for the days and the months and so on. So good possibilities, good opportunities. As we get into the show today, we are going to be doing a goal setting workshop, and that will happen in just a little bit right after the UFO news. We're going to get started with that. So put your thinking caps on. Think about some of the things you want to work towards this year, and we're going to commit those to paper, and we're going to start to move forward along the path of creating and manifesting in our lives some of the things that it is we want to create and manifest. In the meantime, UFO news is up next, so let's check it out.
This is the UFO news with Joshua Poet.
All right, Dirk, thank you very much. So to start things off, we got a compilation of sightings that took place during 2014. The videos, there's a number of videos here, as you can see. We're going to start off with this first one here, which was 4 minutes and 24 seconds. Okay. Again, it's best when you enlarge these images on your screen so you can see them better. This one makes its appearance down here by this windmill. Okay, next one we hear Taylor's Hill, Australia. This is a 1 minute and 1 second video. Alright, and let's see here. I'm going to jump ahead. Okay, looking for the object right here. Alright, there we go. You just pass it. Right there it is. It's like a little grouping of them right here. Hold your camera still, buddy. There it is. Okay, I'm going to freeze it right there. There they are right there. Nice little triangle going on. Okay. Over Manchester. This was actually a month ago, November. Actually 2 months ago now. Okay, here's our object in question. It's a 3-minute, 42-second video over Chile. Get this sighting right here. Santiago, Chile. Okay. Right back there. Some good large UFOs. Some of these you recall that we've seen. Here's over France. 59-second video. Nice good orb up there. Comes to us from the truthbehindufos.com. Costa Mesa. This was an image there that was taken. Alright. So, moving on. January 1st, up by the International Space Station, the live cam up there. Something else has been seen. This is what it is. Just a few hours ago, this UFO was caught on the live NASA cam. Its metallic color glimmers in the reflection of the sunlight, and its hull stands out in the blackness of space. This UFO was only a few hundred meters from the space station. I say that because of the detail in the UFO. For it to be in focus, had to be close. This was caught by none other than StreetCap1 of YouTube, who captures lots of videos, or lots of UFOs up here. There it is. So good job, StreetCap1. Another good capture. Of course, when NASA sees these things, they turn on the blue screen so you don't realize that they're there. Now, moving along to this next article, I thought this was quite interesting. It came out the other day. It says the CIA was behind UFO sightings in the 50s and the 60s. I want to make you aware of this article because the debunking continues to go on. They try to dispute what's out there. It says as 2014 comes to a close, even the CIA is pushing out the best of the year list. Starting on December 22nd, the agency began sharing to the 10 most popular articles they posted on Twitter. Number 1, which was tweeted on Monday, directs readers to a 272-page document from 1998 entitled The CIA and the YouTube Program from 1954 to 74. This document, which the CIA originally tweeted in July, details how the U-2 spy plane program worked and how the program was responsible for the majority of UFO sightings during that time that it was active. You can see there's a lot more to the article. I'm going to leave that to you. But look, the CIA is trying to jump in now and get you to think that all of the sightings that went on were them. Sure they were. But those who know, they know. This is just one of the games the CIA does. So we'll just play along, even though we understand that there's more than just the CIA stuff that went on during that time. But check out the article, read the information, see what it's all about. And also I wanted to make you aware of the National UFO Reporting Center. We check this from time to time. You can check here to see the latest reports. 283 for the month of December so far listed here, and there may be more as time goes on. And that is our UFO news for today. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Come into our circle, Great Spirit. Fill our souls with peace.
All right, moving on. A lot to cover today. So, January 1st, 2015. Goals. You know, we all have things in life that we want to accomplish. And we all start the year off building up some steam, putting some ideas in mind. Sometimes we keep that going throughout the whole year. We have success. Sometimes we forget about those things and we just go back to the way that we were doing things. Nonetheless, every year we do seem to make an effort to want to move forward. So I thought that I would start things off with a goal-setting workshop. I like to do this at the beginning of every year. to put us on the right track. That's the objective of this show. One of the objectives is to see that we are moving forward in a positive manner. There's a lot of crazy things that go on in the world, and we could certainly get wrapped up in all of those. But what's the point? What's the point in getting wrapped up in all the nonsense? Because all it does is bring us down. If we have the opportunity to do something positive versus something negative, why not do something positive? There's enough negative out there. Because I believe that if we do the positive, that we can make a change into the world. And that's what this is all about, changing the world. The messages we hear from the books like the Bible and other esoteric spiritual books that are out, the messages that come to us from extraterrestrial sources, from channeled sources, on and on and on, all tell us about the possibilities that we have before us. So we have two things that we can do: look at the possibilities or look at all of the negative things that are going on. These are our two choices, two paths that we can walk. Which one are we going to go? We're going to walk the path of positivity. Over my lifetime, there's been a lot of individuals who have certainly been a positive influence in my life. I wanted to bring up some of them for you so you can see who they are and use this as a point of reference and use it as a place just to start looking to see if you haven't experienced some of these individuals before. First one is Robert Schuller. Robert Schuller has an amazing story. He started the Crystal Cathedral. He did it with zero money, and yet he created a very amazing organization. So he has a number of things. Here we go. Again and again, the impossible problem is solved when we see that the problem is only a tough decision waiting to be made. Always look at what you have left. Never look at what you have lost. Any fool can count the seeds in an apple, but only God can count all the apples in one seed. Anyone can. Better to do something imperfectly than to do nothing flawlessly. Build a dream, and the dream will build you. Don't violate the law, but reject an idea because it's illegal. You might be able to get the law changed. Every valley has its low point. Reach it, and there's only one way to go from that point, and that's upwards. Failure doesn't mean you are a failure. It just means you haven't succeeded yet. And let me jump forward to the second page here. I want to show you this one of his very famous ones that I like. It's called the Possibility Thinker's Creed. When faced with a mountain, I will not quit. I will keep on striving until I climb over, find a pass-through, tunnel underneath, or simply stay and turn that mountain into a gold mine with God's help. Okay, let's move from Robert Schuller over to another great thinker. This is Anthony Robbins. You've heard of him. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. It's in the moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. To effectively communicate, we must realize that we are all different in the way we perceive the world and use this understanding as a guide to our communication with others. Only those who have learned the power of sincere and selfless contribution experience life's deepest joy, true fulfillment. Stay committed to your decisions, but stay flexible in your approach. Success comes from taking the initiative and following up, persisting, eloquently expressing the depth of your love. What simple action could you take to produce new momentum towards success in your life? Beliefs have the power to create and the power to destroy. Human beings have the awesome ability to take any experience of their lives and create a meaning that disempowers them or one that can literally save their lives. And one more, the secret of success is learning how to use pain and pleasure instead of having pain and pleasure use you. If you do that, you're in control of your life. If you don't, life controls you. Zig Ziglar is another really great motivational speaker here. Says, hope is the power that gives a person the confidence to step out and try. You are designed for accomplishment, engineered for success, and endowed with the seeds of greatness. Look back in forgiveness, forward in hope, down in compassion, and up with gratitude. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. There are no traffic jams on the extra mile. There is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. Where you start is not as important as where you finish. The choice you have to make, having a great attitude, is something nobody or circumstance can take from you. If you don't see yourself as a winner, then you cannot perform as a winner. You are the only person on earth who can use your ability. It's an awesome responsibility. One of the things about Ziglar that he really talks about is how to eliminate stinking thinking. And that's what happens when we allow, nonsense into our minds. One thing you find when you look through all of these motivational speakers and, the success that they're talking about the exact same universal principles that have been around for a long, long time. The only difference is they're employing them. They've made use of them. And they're speaking to you and teaching you ways in which they've employed them in their own lives to really help them. If you go through those various pages that I just pulled up there, you will see that there are links to other quotes from other authors, other people who have had great success in life, from people that you've heard of to people you haven't heard of, and everything in between. And use those as just simply a starting point. If you've not looked at this, if you have, you're familiar with all of these, great. If not, just follow along and just follow the trail. See where your investigation goes. Just set yourself on the path of learning and experiencing something that's helping you with this possibility thinking. Here's another one. This comes to us, it's a book, PDF, from The Greatest Salesman in the World by MANDINO. It has a series of scrolls. I'm going to go over the first one here. It says, "Today I begin a new life. Today I shed my old skin, which hath too long suffered the bruises of failure and the wounds of mediocrity. Today I am born anew, and my birthplace is a vineyard, where there is a fruit for all. Today I will pluck grapes of wisdom from the tallest and the fullest vines in the vineyard, for these were planted by the wisest of my profession and have come before me generation upon generation. Today I will savor of the taste of grapes from these vines, and verily I will swallow the seed of success buried in each, and new life will sprout within me. The career I have chosen is laden with opportunity, yet it is fraught with heartbreak and despair, and the bodies of those who have failed, were they piled on top one another, would cast its shadow upon the pyramids of the earth. Yet I will not fail as the others, for in my hands I now hold the charts which will guide me through perilous waters to shores which only yesterday seemed but a dream. Failure will no longer be my payment for my struggle, just as nature made no provision for my body to tolerate pain, neither has it made any provision for my life to suffer failure. Failure, like pain, is alien to my life. In the past, I accepted it as I accepted pain, but now I reject it and prepared for wisdom and the principles which will guide me out of the shadows into the sunlight of wealth, position, and happiness far beyond my most extravagant dreams, until even the golden apples in the garden of Hesperides will seem no more than my just reward. Time teaches all things to he who lives forever. But I have not the luxury of eternity. Yet within my allotted time I must practice the art of patience, for nature never acts in haste. To create the olive, king of all trees, 100 years is required." And so on. Okay? Lots of great information. If you've never read that book, read that book. Read that book. It's really amazing. If you recall, we've had some shows talking about the Kybalion. The Kybalion has 7 principles that discuss the principles of life, the principles by which all things operate. To refresh, the first one is mentalism, that we live in a universe that is a mental universe, a mental construct. Everything is a great big mind, the mind of God, This mind that's out there has many layers, many dimensions, many ways that are beyond our comprehension at this time. And the amazing thing about this mind is everything corresponds to everything else. So we have the first one is mentalism. Second one is correspondence. Third one is everything vibrates. And because everything vibrates, everything is affected by that vibration. We have the laws of polarity, that there are opposite poles. Hot and cold are the same energy, just at different ends of the spectrum. And by learning how to move back and forth on that spectrum, we can change from the hot to the cold and vice versa. We can change the energy. The principle of rhythm, that all things move in rhythm, and rhythm helps to set things into motion and solidify things. The principles of cause and effect, that what we do causes something, has an effect. And if we take charge of our lives and responsibility, we understand that what we do causes some effect to be had, and that effect leads us to the next cause. And of course, the principle of gender, which teaches us that everything in life is male and female, masculine and feminine energies working together. When we learn to work in harmony with all of these, life becomes a much smoother, simpler process. So with all of these principles, one of the things to understand is we have available to us a great resource of energy, this great intelligence. We call it God, great spirit, divine providence. It is there available for all of us. And this body of energy is full of potential. This energy, in many ways, is very neutral. It's not good, it's not bad. It's simply the energy that is available for us. We have the opportunities when we work with this energy to decide how we're going to work with it. If one chooses to work with it in a positive way, there are certain results that come from it. If one works in a negative way, there are results that come from that as well, because the laws of the universe work every single time. There's not a time when they don't work. So all we are doing is we are working with the laws of the universe. And the more that we understand what these laws are, how they work, the better we can affect our lives, because we learn to do the things that are going to help us and not the things that are going to hurt us. Because just as much as we can put something into motion that will go out and will create and manifest positivity, if we are creating something that is negative, those same laws will work and will bring those negative things into our lives. So we need to find a way to really focus our intentions, focus our minds towards what it is we want to create, as opposed to what we don't want to create. The challenge we have is the world we live in these days. We are bombarded with all sorts of propaganda from all different sources. Somebody telling us how to do this, how to think, what to do. But we need to learn to take charge of our own minds, to think for ourselves, because once we do, we step beyond the boundaries of all of those who are trying to impose limitations on us. When we think for ourselves, we are truly living and doing what it is that we are here to live and do. That is what the great Creator has given us, this power of thought, this power of free will, to use it to take care of ourselves so that we can in turn reach out and take care of others. But when we get caught up in all the negativity and we buy into the ideas that wars are good and violence is good and racism is good and all this other stuff, it throws us off course. We have to know that peace is what we need to attain. Love is important. Prosperity, integrity, positivity. There's so many wonderful qualities that are out there that when we focus on them, we create. And that's all we have to do. And it's really such a simple process. We just have to not get distracted along the way. We need to just not get into the place where we're drifting into places that just take us out of our element, out of our divine place in life. So as we go through this year, as you're looking at what's going on out there in the world, just understand that energy can be affected. Energy's all around you. And all you have to do is just work a little bit every day to understand that energy. Jesus said, ask and you shall receive. It's that simple. You ask of the universe, and by universal law, you shall receive what you ask for. You don't need to keep going back and asking again and again and again, because by asking again and again and again, you're implying some sort of doubt that you're not going to get what you asked for on the first time. And as you put that doubt into there, you're adding something into the mix that the universe is now going to bring forward some of that doubt. Just move forward with complete confidence. That's all we need to do. Complete confidence that when we ask for something, when we put forth our energies, when we put forth our ideas, we can do the things we want to do and manifest them. That's what life is about, to move forward, to conquer those doubts, to conquer those fears with love, with faith, and just walking that path of integrity. So, that being said, let's jump into some goal setting here. I am going to throw on a little bit of music and let this play while we go through this process here. And it's going to be real simple here. None of this should be complicated at all. When we set our goals, we simply want to set a path for ourselves, a path of where we're going to go. Because if we don't know where we're going to go, how are we going to get there? So here are some goals we're going to set forward. First one, and I'm doing the same thing here. I got my notebook and everything. And first one is spiritual goals. Spiritual goals are very important because we live in a world that is a spiritual world. And if we understand the principles of life, all the spiritual qualities of life that I was speaking about, we begin to understand that we can affect in life so much more than we realize. So, the first is our spiritual goal. So go ahead, take a few moments just to go ahead and write down some of these goals. Just get your pen and paper. Write down some of the spiritual goals you have in life. You want to work towards this year. Maybe you want to spend time every day doing some meditation. Prayer. Maybe you have a certain practice of doing affirmations you want to do. Some way in which you connect with that higher self. Is there a particular study that you want to embark upon? Study some of the work of Jesus or Buddha or some of the other wise masters? And one of the things as we're working with the goals is you want to understand the idea of the definiteness of purpose, because it's very important. So, what is it you definitely want to do? Now let's move from the spiritual goals to the next one, which is the physical goals. Physical goals are the things of the physical world, the physical body. Health is a very important one, so maybe you might want to look at some health goals. Do you want to gain weight? Do you want to lose weight? Is there something you need to do physically? Maybe with your appearance, you want to change your hairstyle. You want to do something different about how you present yourself to the world in a physical way. Think about these physical goals, because this physical body that you have needs to be taken care of. So what are the ways that you are going to take care of this? Now, let's move from the physical goals to the next goals, which are relationship goals. Relationship goals can be relationships with yourself, relationships with friends, relationships with family, with a loved one. In life, we are always relating. And the more that we understand how we are relating with others, the more we understand the idea of this thing called life. So who do you want to be in relationship with? And what kind of relationships do you want? We have the opportunity to bring and attract people into our lives that we want. And we can turn away from those who do not bring positivity into our lives. And that should be one of the qualities when we look at relationships. We want those who help and nurture who and what we're about. Okay, now from relationships goals, let's go take a look at the next one, which is career goals. What it is we want to do in life. What we want to do for a career. The path that we're going to follow. Drifting in life doesn't get us where we need to be or want to be. But when we make solid goals about the focus of direction, it's said that if we love what we do, we never work a day in our lives. So what is it you love to do, and how can you make that a reality in your life this year? It doesn't matter if you've never done what it is you want to do. Write it down. It's a starting point for all possibilities occur and exist. Okay, from there let's move to the next one, which is financial goals. This is a big one for everyone's life, but finances, money is just energy like everything else. And when we take the unnecessary importance off of finances to realize what they are, we find that it's much easier to understand and bring that into our lives. For there is no difference between financial energy or creative energy or relationship energy or spiritual or any kind of energy we're working with. It's all the same, just another manifestation of that energy. So what kind of financial energy do you want to bring into your life? Write that number down if you have a number. Just think big. Think possibilities. And last on this list, we're going to look at the fun goals. For we need to have fun in life. What kind of things do you want to do to have fun? Are there vacations you want to take? Are there adventures you want to go on? How do you want to have fun to enjoy life? Because it can't all be so serious. And write these down. Now that you've written down all of these goals, what you want to do is you want to arrange them. Go through each step. Go through your spiritual and your physical, your relationship goals, your career goals, your financial goals, and your fun goals, and put them in order. Which ones do you want to do first? Which ones will be second? Which ones will be third? Make an order. Prioritize them. Because that priority will help you to organize how you're going to start working on them. Can't do everything at once. So you take one step at a time. One step at a time towards where it is you wish to go. And by taking that one step towards that goal, by knowing which is the order. And the last thing we want to do with each one of these goals is you want to set forth a time frame. Set forth a time frame for yourself. so that you understand what you're working towards, when you want to see yourself accomplish this. Give yourself some time. Some things might happen quicker than others. Some things might take a little longer. Now, by setting your goals, prioritizing your goals, and then setting your time frames, we set our feet on the path to accomplishing what we want. And you can see this is very simple. Very simple way of doing this. A, B, and C. Set your goals, prioritize them, set a time frame. And all that's left from here on out is every day take one step towards it. One step is all you need to do. Use the positive thinking tools that are available. You can go online, you can do a Google search, and you can find tons of positive thinking tools that are available. Read a book. Go through the different articles that I posted up. Go through there and you will see lots of other articles. Just follow the trail. Read people who have had success in life. And as you begin to see and read, you will find that there are so many possibilities out there and so many possibility thinkers that have gone into the world and created wonderful things. Pretty soon all the negativity of the world will just disappear. You'll forget all about it because you'll be thinking of all the positive ways that you can move forward in life. And that's what we need to do, to let go of all of that negativity and nonsense, to move forward into the positive, because that's the opportunity. And then the last thing you want to do with all of these goals is you want to review them. Keep your mind attuned to what they are. Create affirmations for your goals, little ways in which you remember them. Everybody works on them at their own pace, so find the pace that you're going to work on. Find the positive words you're going to use to remind yourself about these goals. Post them up on your wall so you can look and see and keep yourself in sync. Make little notes around your home of these positive thoughts that you pick up and ideas on how to do these things. And even though some of these goals may be big and grandiose, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't know any way to make them happen. Just by the mere act of putting them down on paper, you begin putting in motion the ways for the universe to make them happen. Because the universe can think and has much more access than what we often allow ourselves having access to. So when we simply put out to the universe what we want and allow the universe to bring it to us, the universe will show us and bring us ways that we might never even dreamed of. So we don't want to limit ourselves. So like the hangman, we want to flip upside down, look at things from a new perspective. And that new perspective will be a perspective that will help us to understand more and more possibilities that do exist each and every day. So you've got your list now. You've got your priorities. You've set some time frames. Now all that's left is just to take action on these. And what we've done, what this is just a starting point. And use these every day and build on them. And you'll find that if every day you just do a little bit, a little bit, a little bit every day, you'll find this momentum building within you, moving you in the direction where you want to go. And that's all that there is. We take our mind and we're focusing our mind towards where we want to go. We're using the first principle of mentalism and then allowing what we think to correspond to everything else, because that's what it does. And as it corresponds and vibrates and creates and gets part of this rhythm of life, we create rhythms of success that we would like to have. And then we simply just allow the process to happen. And in all things, we must be patient. We can't rush the process because things take time, and time is a very important aspect. We plant a seed, and the seed needs time to grow. So we allow it the time, and we simply bless and send positive thoughts and vibrations to what we're doing and allow the magic to happen. So there you go. There is our goal setting for today. All right. So we're going to move forward into our meditation for today. So why don't you take all of those goals and things that we were working on. Think about them now as we go forth and do this meditation. So close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And exhale. Take another deep breath. Exhale again. And think about all of those goals that we just worked on. Think about all of the things that you wrote down. And imagine yourself as a starting line at the beginning of a race. And you hear this voice that says go. And you go. And as you begin moving along this path, you realize that though it is a starting point, that it is not a race as such, for we all move at our own pace. So you find a pace that's comfortable with you. And as everybody begins to settle into their pace, we find that there's a rhythm of life that unfolds. And as we allow and see this rhythm of life unfolding before us, we find that we are all moving forward with the same idea to create positivity in our lives. And we find that individually and collectively we all have the same ideas in mind. So we move forward along the path of life knowing that we are not alone, that we encourage each other, and as we encourage each other, we all push each other to do better and better. And as we move forward helping each other one by one, we find that the problems of the world drift away. Because we are focused on solutions. Focused on attaining the things that we want. That bring positivity into our lives. Let's imagine as we move along the path of life that we send out love to all that we see and meet. Let's think a positive thought for everybody in the world today. That all have an opportunity to move forward in peace and love and harmony. Let's send a blessing of hope to the world. That all are able to see the workings of the great Creator in our lives. And as we understand how the great Creator is providing the opportunities for our lives, we understand that life is filled with possibilities more than we could ever imagine. And we let go of all the things that have held us back. So let's just imagine walking down the path and seeing one by one, individuals letting go of the chains and the baggage that held them back. And imagine a planet filled with beings that are moving free. And in this freedom, love, possibility, positivity exist. Let's send some love and thankfulness down into Mother Earth and see the Earth smiling back. Let's send love and positivity and light up into the cosmos. See the planets and the stars shining down upon us, smiling upon us. And last, let's just give a thank you to the Creator of life. For all that we have, all that we have learned in the past, and all that we shall learn and have in the future. Let the subconscious mind continue on this journey of possibilities. And let's bring our conscious mind back to the present moment on the count of 3. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Take another deep breath. Exhale and open your eyes. I'm going to go over one set of affirmations before we go. This is Louise Hay. Great set of affirmations at her site. Let's jump over and look at these. Self-esteem. How about that one? All is well in my world. My self-esteem is high because I honor who I am. Life supports me in every possible way. And just use these affirmations, use these sites, these tools on a daily basis, and you'll find wonderful things going on in your life, because you'll be feeding your life with all of the possibilities and the opportunities to create and experience more and more possibilities in life. That's it. I could keep going on this forever, but you get the idea. Happy New Year. Have an awesome day. Enjoy what you're doing. Enjoy setting forth your plan for this upcoming year. And I'll be back tomorrow. Till then, I love you. Keep loving each other. I'll talk to you soon. Peace. I'm out of here.